frustrating today. Frustrating work schedule for your boy. I wouldn't be concerned with it either if I'd never filled up the generator even one single time with gas. If I didn't have to do that,
I have done it multiple times. You're probably pretty sore, right?
I don't get sore. This is the real deal American steel you're dealing with over here.
Things haven't gone perfectly to plan.
Terrible. This is the ugliest pad on God's green earth. You'd have to tear this out.
Guys, guess what? You're never gonna believe this. It's been 3 days that it hasn't rained, and Matt somehow talked the men into bringing the big concrete truck out here to fill our pad, our foundation for our solar build. We didn't think it was gonna happen. We were starting to second guess the idea of even putting it here, and we were never gonna get the truck out. There is a little spot that seems a little questionable, so I hope the truck doesn't get caught there, but they have agreed to come out, and they're coming out today. So we are getting it going. You have any words to say, Matt?
I'm hyped, but it still seems like it might rain, so we need to go to the store, get some plastic in case. This isn't terribly, gonna be terribly finished work. This isn't super important. It's gonna have a little battery house, and then it's going to have solar panels over it. So nothing too wild. It's not a super structural build, but it's you know, I want it to look as good as I can. So I definitely don't want rain raining on it. I don't want the cats putting their paw prints in it. So there's a little bit more prep, but I got my rake, I got my concrete coming, I got
And
my
it's
trowel,
happening.
my bullfoot, my edger, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to concrete Carl.
All right, guys, moment of truth. The guy is here. I'm hoping he does not get stuck. He's already slowing down, probably questioning his life right now.
But we got him coming in. He don't love it. The driver don't love it. I don't love it, but we've all been there on the come up. Plenty of salesmen put me in a pinch before. So I think it'll be all right though.
Things haven't gone perfectly to plan, I feel like. I can't tell you exactly what because I don't know, and obviously Matt's busy trying to smooth it out and make everything better. So stay tuned, we'll figure this out. I don't think it's a giant disaster, but we will see. Keeping up with this property is a lot of work. It's a good day if we get to eat breakfast before we start filming and working. Most days we skip lunch, not because we want to, but we forget or don't have time. Well, today's sponsor, Huel, is here to help. Huel is no prep meals that don't compromise your health. We've been using Huel for the past few weeks. It's so easy to shake together a meal in between filming. I can run in and grab his lunch or sometimes breakfast while he's still working, and we don't lose that much time. Huel is ideal for when you're pressured for time, on the go, in a rush, or away from your kitchen. All you need is some cold water, 2 scoops of powder, and to shake. You'll have a convenient, nourishing meal in seconds. We love Huel's Black Edition, which is their low-carb, high-protein powdered meal. It has 40 grams of protein plus 27 essential vitamins and minerals. It's plant-based, gluten-free, and has no artificial sweeteners. Huel products are designed by nutritionists and dietitians to give your body everything you need from a healthy meal in an extremely easy and convenient way. In short, you get a high-quality, nutritious breakfast or lunch for just $2.50 a meal. Huel has a lot of great flavors, but chocolate has been our favorite. Now we can just grab Huel instead of grabbing fast food or something that's not so healthy for us on the run. If you want to save money, save time, and eat healthy, use code GOODBAD for 15% off your first order of Huel. Plus, you'll get a free t-shirt and shaker that's a $40 value. That's code GOODBAD for 15% off your first order. Link will be in the description. Having a busy life shouldn't stop you from eating healthy, so check out Huel today. Mistakes look like they were going down, bad things were happening.
Well, it's an election year, so I'd never disparage one of my fellow islanders. But I tend to I'm not really a pushy guy. I have my way to do it, but if someone who obviously drives a concrete truck every day, I just assume that they know a little bit more about it than me. He wanted to do the traditional screed on each side. I really didn't even want him helping me because they don't get paid for that, and I ain't really trying to tip either. So I kind of wanted to, what I've seen and I've done in concrete work in the past is, this was only 10 feet wide. So 24 feet long, 10 feet wide. So the important part was getting it screeded on the floor, and then you got about 45 minutes to an hour to finish work, which one guy can do. This wasn't like an expert large size pad, something I've never done before, but I wanted to sit in the middle and screed all of the concrete back to me. As he dumped, I could have had this thing laid out 20 minutes. I could have had this thing dumped out and screeded, maybe a little bit quicker. I move quick. So this guy didn't really move too fast. You know, he definitely wasn't working at my pace. So we were just slowly screed, slow with the rake. It was like definitely not a concrete pace in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
it was a turn the machine on, wait.
Yeah, it was like
on, wait.
So it took us an hour just to lay it down. So after that happened, I had no time to get to that other side, which it's my fault. I should have jumped on it and said, look, I'm gonna do this the way I want to do it. You just run the lever. And I'd have been better off doing that. But instead I got cut with some hot mud, and it's set up. It was going off in 1 hour. By the time, as soon as I put a trowel on it, it was just about dry. There wasn't enough water that was gonna save it. I was getting eaten alive. So I got her pretty flat though. I got her pretty good.
Yeah, the front part is gonna be the building part.
Yeah.
So that's where we put our focus.
Yeah, I really only had to get the 8 feet around the edge, nice and flat on the inside, and flat or level where I can lay block on it and I don't end up with tilted block. And then also I plan on putting my washing machine in there, so I don't want the washing machine jumping around like crazy. So that's the only part that's really important. The other part's just getting the lawnmower is going to be parked on it, some other tools, you know, just crap for the farm, hand tools. But I use this as practicing. Like I said, the reason I like to do this is because I like to learn. And my first pour with the little piece of the driveway up there did really well. Learned a lot with that. Pouring the big footers for the wall, I learned a lot with that. And so I was getting incrementally better. And then I hit this today and it's terrible. This is the ugliest pad on God's green earth. You'd have to tear this out if this was a job you were doing commercial. For me, it's gonna fly, but you know, my next concrete job, God willing, will be on the house. So I guess I'm gonna have to hire some guys to come out and help me. Maybe for that, I like to do it as much as I can on my own, but obviously I did not get there today. I mean, if this were a foundation for a house, I guess it'd be okay too, because you could always float it out and level it with those products as well. But it's pretty ugly. It's not the perfectly slick Home Depot floor that I was hoping I would get today, and it ain't even close. All right, so I got my slab poured up. It's looking good over there. Unfortunately, it was really rainy and swampy and muddy when they delivered the block, so they could not take it over there. That would have been ideal for me, but I rolled with the punches. I said, you know what, just throw them down here. I'll throw them in the taco.
and I'll piecemeal them over there. So hopefully I can make it in a couple trips. Not that big of a deal. Not the most fun thing in the world to do, but it's nothing too crazy either. So I just got to load them up and get it done.
The next day, Matt really loaded up a lot of block. You're probably pretty sore, right?
I don't get sore. This is the real deal American steel you're dealing with over here.
All right, well, what's the first step today?
I got to drill some holes. I got to get some steel into this, some uprights into this. It's not going super tall, so it's not really super duper important. I could have tried to really rush yesterday and get it in, but the mud was going off, and I figured let's try to get this flat and I can just drill in the steel later. It's an extra step for me, but I have a 12-inch by 12-inch footer on this, so I can drill down 8 inches, bang in some steel, and I'll still get plenty of strength that way. So yeah, I got to put my steel pins in because I'll need to tie this together so that it's one piece.
And guys, Matt took a lot of pain the other day with the concrete because it's literally rashed his skin.
Yeah, they sent a different mix. They sent like a hotter mix, I think, because the rain was coming. So that was the first time I know people have commented before and said, oh yeah, the concrete eats you up. And I've worked with concrete before in my life and nothing really ever happened. But I think they put a little more lime or something in this. And yeah, it annihilated me. Any part the concrete got on you, it took the skin right off real quick. So hopefully I survive that and it all goes away. And next time I can be a little bit better with my protective gear. But the way that job went, I don't think it would have mattered anyway. I was swimming in that concrete by the time it was done.
Times and places are all in who you share them with. And it's life. Joy in who you share it with. Joy in who you share it with. And the weeks, weekends are keeping close who you spend them with. And in time, what you find is the time is who you spend it with. Joy is who you share it with. Who you share it with. Who you share it with. Yeah, now it's a moment, and a home is who you share it with. I believe what the point is enjoy.
Matt got all of his uprights up. It was a little loud with the generator, but we now can turn the generator off, and the next step is putting the blocks together, right? You got to mix your mixture, your
Yep.
mortar.
Mudding in my mortar. I'm going to do that manual. I'm just going to carry the water over here and do that manually because we're pretty far away from the power source and I don't want to have to take all that apart. So yeah, just mixing up mud. Gonna lay out my block and start laying the 3 sides, and then I'm gonna have a spot where a door is gonna go in, so I'm gonna wait to do that later. But yeah, I'm gonna get my U up. This should be a lot easier than the first wall, because the first wall I did it kind of traditionally and I tied in all the blocks so that it was a finished product. This way I'm going to just do the block walls individually, and then I'm going to pour the corners, the piers in the corners. So that seems to be the way they do it here. I'm thinking that should make it go much faster. That way, because then you're just laying the block quickly. You're not worrying about interweaving those corners together. It may not be quite as strong, but it may be even stronger. I don't really know. This is a very small, little, tiny. It's going to be, you know, 7 feet tall, 10 feet wide. So it's little. It's not going to be taking a bunch of wind load or anything like that. So this will be the one to experiment. I think it'll be fine. We're more concerned with speed on this one because I need to get this up. So
He is, not me.
well, I want to get that battery power done. I wouldn't be concerned with it either if I never filled up the generator even one single time with gas. If I didn't have to do that,
I have done it multiple times.
I'd be kicking it too. So yeah, we're trying to get this done quickly. Okay, I'm using the Weco Ready Mix. First time I use this mortar, but they say it's nice and easy. It's a little bit cheaper. And I think Weco is a brand, or Weco is the brand they make here in Puerto Rico. So it's readily available at the store just up the street. I ain't got to go all the way to Home Depot to get it. So we're gonna see how she works.
We're hoping this rain blows over, by the way. If you notice the clouds in the background, Matt's being very positive today, which I like that about him. He says it'll probably just blow over. Starting to rain, everybody. You're gonna have to cover this mixture up with some plastic and your other goos.
All right, that little storm blew through pretty quick. I'm gonna keep laying my block and I'm gonna see how many I can get done today.
Obviously.
Sucks, because I mean, that was literally 20 minutes apart. So you spend 5 minutes cleaning up all your stuff, then it stops raining. You spend 5 minutes breaking everything down, getting everything back out. You lay 4 block, and then it starts pouring again. So you got to spend the next 5 minutes cleaning up. Frustrating today. Frustrating work schedule for your boy. But this is why a lot of people hate on me for having so many cats. So when you have to have a break, you just get your sweet Joey. And Joey gives you sweet hugs. Jerry's a hugs, not drugs kind of cat. Oh, you sweet boy. So a few kitty kisses will get your blood pressure down when it keeps raining.
It's been raining, but as you could tell, Matt decided to work through the rain anyways. I don't know why. He is always rushing. Rush, 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 rush. So, how do you feel now that you're soaking wet?
If you don't rush and you don't work in the rain in Puerto Rico, you ain't gonna be able to work. So you can work every day from 9 to 11, 15, and you can take 40 years to build a house. You know, I'm catching a grip on this. You gotta get it done. I'm to my last nerve of that generator. I hate the generator. I want to get on my green energy, and I want the silence and the quiet and to be able to enjoy the serenity of nature. So yeah, I worked in the rain. It's not great though. There was one point where I almost had to call it, but it's just been raining 10 minutes, then it stops and goes. So, you know, I'm not gonna sit inside and watch the sunshine out the window for 45 minutes at a time. So I got to get it done. So I'm working the rain. But yeah, you want to talk about like sensory issues, the concrete, the stucco or the mortar mixed with the water in the boots. It's